What's up, everybody? Here we go. AK-47. Just going to do some carving. Going to get out of the way again, just showing you the kind of the fit and feel. This blade, very large and in charge folder. Fills out my hand well, feels very comfortable in my hand. We're just going to process a little bit of wood here. See how she performs. Man, this thing just slices. Oh yeah, definitely reminds me of like an SE3 or a RAT3 in both its size, blade shape, and design, and its cutting capabilities. You can just see there, man. I mean, it's just slicing. And I can even do, I believe, some pull cuts. Let's see here. I'm going to bring it up a little bit if I need to. Oh yeah, that actually feels really good in my hand when I do that. So basically, in my opinion, how I feel about this when it comes to this type of stuff in hand, you know, you're cutting tasks, and I can choke up here on that blank spot, put my middle finger right there, hold it in place. I can really get up close if I need to and personal. Yeah, man, love that. This is basically like a folding, in my opinion, a folding RAT3 or SE3. You're going to get the same type of capability with slicing and cutting, just in a folding form. The AK-47 rocks when it comes to slicing and dicing. Today we're looking at, as you can see and what you clicked on, the Cold Steel full-size AK-47. Give you the basic specs here. We got a blade made out of Osate A steel, Rockwell hardness 57-58. We got a blade length of 3.5 even, which is perfect, great, legal in almost every state that I know of. Overall length from tip to tip is 9 inches, weighs 5.5 ounces, and the handle when it's closed is 5.5 inches. So those are the basic specs for you with the Cold Steel AK-47. This is an awesome, awesome fixed blade, very tactical as well as wilderness prone. Now this is a very large knife, not really designed for EDC. You know, it's not going to really excel at that. You know, I mean, you can do all those EDC tasks. It's just a massive, heavy, honking blade. I mean, this blade weighs as much as my fixed blade Tops tactical steak knife, and this is a fixed blade, and this is a 4-inch knife. This is the 3.5. So for, you know, a folding knife, that's really that's pretty heavy. Now, that's not to say that it's not ideal, because this is a monster of a knife. We're going to show you here in some of the field testing in just a moment. The blade geometry itself is awesome. It has a gradual hollow grind, razor sharp, as we know from Cold Steel. And that Osate steel is great, you know, made in Japan, put together in Taiwan. And just holds an edge well, can resharpen well, and you know, it's just an overall great type of steel for budget, you know, knives. It's not VG10, it's not, you know, 154 cm, but it's definitely a good quality stainless steel type of stainless steel, obviously. The coating itself does tend to kind of come off pretty quickly, as you're going to see here as we go along with this review. The coating doesn't hold up all that well with hard use. You're going to see it scuff and beat up, but that just, you know, shows that you're using your blade. Awesome amount of belly. I love the amount of belly that this AK-47 gives you. I mean, this is just so well designed, that belly, for wilderness use, processing wood, slicing through things, rope, cord, you know, feathering your fire sticks, as well as, you know, doing some almost light chopping, you know, you could say. As well as this kind of clip point design, you know, this drop, it drops in, it's not drop points, clip with this unsharpened swedge up here, also lends itself to be a great, you know, stabber, piercer. You know, you're going to penetrate really well with this AK-47. So you can do wilderness stuff as well as tactical stuff with this particular knife. Moving on here to the thumb studs. This has a very interesting little platform that bolts in right there. That's a little bolt so you can tighten it right here so that you can deploy it with this little hook. And you're going to see actually how this little hook can be used. That this little hook catches your pocket, and you can whip this knife out without even touching the thumb stud for very, very fast deployment. So I just want to kind of show you how that can happen. All right, so we're going to show you that kind of pocket hook with the Cold Steel AK-47 that grasps your pocket while you pull the knife out. And it's basically like some of those Emerson hooks, if you know Emerson knives, that's going to pull it out, and you can deploy the blade without touching the thumb studs. You can see they're nice and slow. It's grabbing, it pulls out and opens really quick, really nice and easy. That was the slow one. Now we'll do it really fast so you can just see, so you don't have to do like a 2-move thing. It's a 1-move, boom, pulls it out, clicks it into place, it's open, ready to go. So that little hook, very similar to those Emerson hooks, is really nice. Even if it's completely inside your pocket, boom, pulls it out. That's really sweet. Really fast deployment with the AK-47 for a lock back design. So there you go. You can see that you can do that as well as just your normal, everyday deployment that you would do. It grabs my thumb easy. It's got jimping on either side. Whip my wrist a little bit, and boom, it flies open. Very easy. The one thing I would say is this is such a wide knife. You can see there. I mean, it's almost 2 inches from top to bottom. Very, very wide. So it's very large, and it's kind of hard for my thumb to go all the way over and then whip the knife open. So it definitely, the easiest way is with that little hook and pulling it out of your pocket that way. That's not to say that the thumb platform doesn't work well. It's just really wide, and you really got to think about what you're doing when you're deploying the knife. Going on here, like we said, it's just huge. It's massive. 5.5 inches long, 2 inches wide. I mean, this is going to take up a massive amount of real estate in your pocket. So if you don't mind carrying a knife this large, or you're carrying it on your belt, then that's cool. But for the average Joe, it's just so big. G10 handle scales, which are awesome, super aggressive, that we know from Cold Steel, and I love that. They feel really good in my hand. I wear large size gloves even when you're wearing gloves or not. This just feels awesome in your hand. You're really locked in. Great traction. I'm not going to accidentally slide up and cut myself. And there's this big blank spot, so if I was doing more wilderness stuff and doing more detailed work, it could definitely be prone and used for that type of thing. As well as just the extreme amount of texturing. An attempt at jimping back here, it doesn't really do a lot for you, but you're locked into place right here. Your hand's not going to accidentally come up and slide and hurt yourself. Pocket clips are interchangeable. It is tip up only, the way I love to carry it. The pocket clip rides really high. You can see there, that's like 1.5 inches, almost probably 2 inches of how high it rides. Does have a big, massive lanyard hole, kind of a non-lethal pommel. You could do, non-lethal stuff, maybe blow out a car window if you had to. And the G10s are going to destroy your pocket. Cold Steel's aggressive G10 is going to destroy your pocket. You really got to know what you're doing. Think about it. And possibly what I would recommend, we just took the pocket clip off, filed the G10 down right underneath that pocket clip a little bit. Now it's a lot less destructive to your jeans and clothing when you pull it out of your pocket. Finally, to the lockback Triad design, Cold Steel, I would say, probably has the best, strongest lockback design of any on the market. Very, very strong. There's no blade play, left, right, up, and down. Extremely locked into place. You're not going to get any wiggle, and very, very strong. It's got 3 points. That's why it's called the Triad. 3 points of retention so that the blade will not collapse on you, and you really got to think about what you're doing. You really got to push that in really hard. You can see how high it kicks up. Then you can close the knife. So this is definitely, a two-handed closer for sure when you're closing this knife. And that Triad is just so thick. You can see how thick that piece of steel is back there that locks the blade in place so it will not collapse on you. So this is definitely a hard-use, tactical, and wilderness folder. The AK-47, we're going to do some thrashing on it, and we'll wrap up this review. All right, we're going to do a little bit of batoning with this AK-47. Just kind of show you how strong that Triad lock is. Oh yeah, buddy. If you can span it with this AK-47, now I wouldn't be going through a bunch of knots and stuff like that, but you can see here, I mean, I'm definitely processing this little piece of wood right here that's about 1 inch thick. And this AK-47 with that Triad lock, you never would be wanting to do this. I mean, this is not what I would recommend doing with an AK-47 or any other Cold Steel locking Triad lock. But if you had to, you're stuck out here, and this happened to be the only knife you had on you that day, and you did have to baton a little bit, you're going to be able to split that wood if you had to. Not ideal, not really what it's made for, but that Triad lock, oh yeah, no lockup at all. I mean, no wiggle in that lockup at all. That AK-47 is rocking and will baton if you have to. AK-47, a folding batoner. Okay, everybody, I have here the AK-47, straight from Mother Russia. We're going to do a tip test. See how strong tip is. Oh yeah. Strong like bull. Penetrate wood well. I can't keep accent up any longer without laughing head off. So anyway, as you can see here, I am penetrating well with this AK-47. I mean, this thing stabs, penetrates very, very well. This is going in about this far, so I'd say about an inch almost, 3/4 of an inch stab into this hard, dried out pine, every thrust that I put it into. So that's very impressive for me. With the AK-47, the tip is awesome and going to stab and penetrate really well. Straight from Mother Russia. Man, I love this AK-47. The feel of it in my hand, the power behind it. I mean, it is like an actual AK-47. I mean, they titled it right. I mean, it is a monster. It's reliable. It's strong. It's not going to fail on you. And, I mean, we've thrashed on this thing today. And this AK-47 is really holding up well. I would highly recommend it for those of you out there looking for a very large wilderness or tactical folder. The AK-47 should be at the top of your list. Thanks for watching. Stay equipped. Stay prepared. We'll see you out there.